أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم افتح علينا حكمتك وانشر علينا رحمتك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. O Lord, open the doors of wisdom and mercy and shower your blessings upon us. Amin. وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Amin. Welcome everyone. Today we're going to continue on with the third cause of the 20th Flash on sincerity. Before we do that, just a little recap from what we covered last week with the second cause. So we're really doing, going over what does it mean for us to be sincere in our endeavors. And this flash is really an understanding or an explanation of a verse from the Quran that was given at the beginning. It's verse number 2 from chapter 39. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Verily we send the book down to you in truth, so worship God in sincerity, for God's is sincerely practiced religion. And so we went over the question that was posed and how the author is walking us through tackling that question in terms of really, how can we be sincere in our endeavors? It's not that easy in terms of how we interact with people, we share our ideas, we hear some ideas, and really, whatever is it that we're doing, how can we maintain, or how can we connect everything to the source of its existence? So just a really overview on this flash on sincerity. So last week, pretty much what we covered, and it's just like a brief summary, although it was a very profound discussion itself. At least it really helped me gain some more understanding on how we take different situations in our lives. So the two main points were that there is an absolute truth, which is what we refer to as a necessarily existent one. And then there is my subscription to this absolute truth. In other words, my relationship with this absolute truth. So the whole point was that I shouldn't maybe meddle in between these two points when I'm dealing with any sort of discourse with anyone. So the whole point is basically to be mindful of how these 2 points are different. So A, there is a necessarily existent one, the absolute truth, and B, there's my relationship with this absolute truth. And so in order to solve any kind of conflicts or rivalry or anything, or even to protect myself from claiming ownership over anything, it's very important that I keep these 2 points in mind, because so if I am sharing a personal conclusion or personal understanding of the absolute truth with somebody, I should know that I am subject to change as far as my capacity is concerned. And so this should help me not really claiming, oh, this is it, this is the truth. Rather, it's an understanding, it's an idea. I could be wrong, but so that's not the absolute truth. So I think we pretty much covered in the last couple of sessions we had thus far on really how to be watchful of the ego, how to abandon the self and its egotism, and really give up the mistaken concept of self-pride. So these are just some of the points that got tailored around that understanding. So another point was, if let's say there's somebody who comes in and attacks the idea of the absolute truth, or as in just saying that, oh, the universe happens to be in existence by itself, then if that doesn't sit well with me, then obviously I need to form alliance with everyone else who subscribe to this idea. And so whatever differences I may have, little nuances when we're sharing our take or understanding on the absolute truth, then that becomes insignificant. So that was it pretty much. And just checking in to see if there's anyone who wants to maybe share something before we proceed to the third cause. Any highlights that remained with them, or just anything? I'll give in 5 seconds. Okay, so alhamdulillah, pretty so far so good. So let's move on today with the oh, you have a comment. I have a friend who wants to say something. Go ahead, please.
I just wanted based on your introduction, the clarification on your last point. Maybe we can use an example of the alliance that you were mentioning. So let's say if I have a friend in school and there's an argument or a dispute going on and discussion, basically that there is no source of existence, no creator, and that doesn't sit well with me. Right? So where's the alliance? Because how does that work? If we can work on this together, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a good.
Because they're like Mariam and Rian are also present, right? And so I know there's a footnote that mentioned about, there's this general idea of atheism that is getting prevalent. So let me read the footnote. Recorded in authentic traditions of the Prophet that at the end of time, the truly pious among the Christians will unite with the people of the Quran and fight their common enemy, irreligion. So the common enemy is irreligion, basically no religion. And at this time too, the people of religion and truth need to unite sincerely, not only with their own brothers and fellow believers, but also with the truly pious and spiritual ones among the Christians, temporarily refraining from the discussion and debate of points of difference in order to combat their joint enemy, aggressive atheism. So the whole idea, I think, that we need to focus on is the stay away from that debate of the points of difference. Right. So that is those insignificant kind of feelings that the human being gets, that when they're feeling attacked or there's on that idea, which although, as you beautifully pointed out about the relationship with the absolute truth that I have must be the concern for every human being, individual. So that relationship, that there is an absolute truth, that relationship, how do I take it? What is my relationship with that understanding? So that is the focus, and all the rest in terms of the differences, I can put them on the side. They're not that important as long as we agree that there is an absolute truth. So I recall this from the last session.
Jazakallah khair, Asim. That was a beautiful take and summary on really the gist of this footnote that we went over last week. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'll just check in to see if there's anyone else who wants to add anything or has a question, perhaps. If all makes sense, if everything is good, then let's move on to the third cause, inshallah. So we can ask Mariam and Rayan if you guys can start reading the third cause nicely and slowly. Thank you.
Okay. Third cause. Disagreement among the people of truth does not arise from lack of zeal and aspiration, nor does union among the people of misguidance arise from loftiness of aspiration. That which impels the people of guidance to the misuse of their high aspiration and hence to disagreement and rivalry is the desire for heavenly reward that is counted as a praiseworthy quality in respect of the hereafter, and extreme eagerness with respect to duties pertaining to the hereafter. Thinking to oneself, thinking to oneself, let me gain this reward, let me guide these people, let them listen to me. He takes up a position of rivalry towards the true brother who faces him and who stands in real need of his love, assistance, brotherhood, and aid, saying to oneself, why are my pupils going to him? Why don't I have as many pupils as him? He falls prey to egoism, inclines to the chronic disease of ambition, loses all sincerity, and opens the door to hypocrisy.
The cure for this error, this wound, this awesome sickness of the spirits, is the principle that God's pleasure is won by sincerity alone, and not by a large following or great success, for these latter are a function of God's will. They cannot be demanded, although they are sometimes given. Sometimes a single word will result in someone's salvation and hence the pleasure of God. Quantity should not receive too much attention, for sometimes to guide one man to the truth may be as pleasing to God as guiding 1,000. Moreover, sincerity and adherence to the truth require that one should desire the Muslims to benefit from anyone and at any place they can. To think, let them take lessons from me so that I gain the reward, is a trick of the soul and the ego.
O man, greedy for reward in the hereafter and the performance of deeds, entitling you to that reward. There have been certain prophets who had only a limited following but received the infinite reward of the sacred duty of prophethood. The true achievement lies, then, not in gaining a vast following, but in gaining God's pleasure. What do you imagine yourself to be that's saying, let everyone listen to me? You forget your function and interfere in what is strictly God's concern. To gain acceptance for you and to have people gather around you is God's concern. So look to your own duty and concern, and do not meddle with God's concerns.
Moreover, it is not only men who earn reward for those who hear and speak the truth. The sentient and spiritual beings of God and his angels have filled the universe and adorned its every part. If you want plentiful reward, take sincerity as your foundation, and think only of God's pleasure. Then every syllable of the blessed words and that issue forth from your mouth will be brought to life by your sincerity and truthful intention, and going to the ears of innumerable sentient beings, they will illumine them and earn you reward. For when, for example, you say praise and thanks be to God, millions of these words, great and small, are written on the page of the air by God's leave. Since the all-wise inscriber did nothing prodig- prodigally or in vain, he created innumerable ears, as many as were needed to hear those multiple blessed words. If If those words are brought to life in the air by sincerity and truthful intent, they will enter the ears of the spirit beings like some tasty fruit in the mouth. But if God's pleasure and sincerity do not bring those words to life, they will not be heard, and reward will be had only for the single utterance made by the mouth. Pay good attention to this. You you Quran reciters who are sad that your voices are not more beautiful and that more people do not listen to you.
Thank you very much, Mariam and Ryan, for a awesome reading. So we're gonna pause and go over this third cause. Just wondering, while both of you were reading, is there anything that struck your attention? Any keywords or something that, I don't know, you're wondering about, or something that resonated with you, or anything? If there's anything that strikes your attention, please feel free to share.
Oh, yeah. So you know the last part where it says, "Do not be sad to those Quran reciters that voice are not like more beautiful than like others," and then it says, "Don't listen to them." Like that just like makes me like connect to like how other people are when they read the Quran. They're trying so hard, and then like uh and like the like imams or whoever like scholars are reading the Quran, their voices are good. Like all the same because at least the voices don't matter as long as you're reading the Quran, as long as you're reading it with meaning. But like the voices don't matter. So that's what just like my when I last when Miriam read that last sentence.
Yeah, so like what Ram said, like it's basically if you understand what you're reading, if you understand the meaning of it, and if you're like at least practicing or trying to say it, or if you understand it yourself. It doesn't matter if others don't understand. You just have to understand it yourself because it's like it's more easy on you, so like you can practice more. And also I just wanted to say about the part where it said um they will enter the ears of the spirit beings like some tasty fruit in the mouth. Like I understand it as like you say something nice to someone and they think they say like thank you, or they probably think in their head like that's nice. Like basically it's just when I say something nice to someone, I feel happy that it made someone happy too. Because it's like for me, like when I say something to someone nice, like to Ryan, like you are a very good reader, I feel happy by saying that. Like to me, it feels like I'm eating something like tasty or something that I enjoy because it's making me happy, and yeah.
It all matters about sincerity.
Mhm.
As long as you're sincere to the person, then it's fine. But if you just don't say like, "Oh, you're so good at basketball," and you don't even mean it because you probably, they probably beat you in a 1v1 or something, like you just have to be sincere.
Yeah, and also about the part where it said the ears, like I just want to say like when you say something rude to someone, they don't think it's nice, and then to their ears it sounds like it doesn't sound like music to them. It sounds like something horrible. But when you say something nice, sounds like music to them, like something very nice. It just makes their day, and yeah.
Mashallah. Beautiful comments. Thank you both, Mariam and Rayan. Very meaningful takeaways. It's making me think as well in terms of what matters at the end of the day and how important are meanings that are imparted onto us from any kind of interaction, be it on the receiver end or be it as someone who's just making a compliment to someone. Um, thank you. That was wonderful, and I'm still personally reflecting on all that. Just checking in to see if there's anyone else who would want to also share out their excitement from this text? Any takeaways, buzzword, or something they're wondering about? Feel free to do so. Okay. Alrighty. Ali Murmur, go ahead, please.
I was amazed with the comment I heard from Miriam and Raya. I'm very, very happy that they are with us, and they really pointed important matters, especially the voice of the reciters concerning about it without really paying attention to the meaning. Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. And also, when a good word is recited or said, it goes into the ears of the angels. If it is sincerely said, if it meant, what the person meant, what really he is saying, he or she is saying, it has an effect. It was an interesting analogy. It has an effect like when you eat the fruit, that is the material, the flesh of the fruit in your mouth, but you get the taste. I mean, this taste is, you cannot describe the taste in terms of physical terms, but you experience it. It really happens. So I wondered, after listening to Miriam and Rayan, I wondered what the angels, whatever is written, whatever is said, if it is said sincerely, not even the peoples don't not listen to you, but the angels here. Now, angel, we understand that represents the glorification of the creation. It means glorifying, announcing the qualities of the creator manifested in a physical form of a matter, just a matter. So the matter is like my tongue, but the sense of taste and pleasure is the meaning or the representers of the qualities of the creator manifested in that physical being. So they, if I say something, if I utter something which is really correct, sincerely pointing to the pleasure of God, if you like, or pointing to God, of course, the angelic side, it means the manifested qualities of the creator side of the physical beings also are related to the creator. If I said something as related to the creator, they come together. They are like the food I eat and the taste my tongue receives. They complement each other. So the function of the angels and my sincere intention in saying something are combined in referring to the God, referring to God. I don't know whether I am able to really express it, because I have to take not notice of the matter itself, but what matter represents. What matter has the quality, and this quality is the manifestation of the qualities of its maker. That is an analogy. Now the tongue as a flesh is not important, but the quality it has to taste, to capture the taste is important. If, for example, a tongue is not functioning as far as the tasting the food, of course, not other functions. The tongue has many functions, but our concern is taste and the flesh of the tongue. So tongue is important because of it is functioning. Matter is important because of it is functioning. Functioning in this term is reflecting, demonstrating the qualities of its maker. So they represent each other. They really remind each other. So when I say something which is directly related to God rather than to other people, for they should listen to me, they should follow me, etc. These kind of concerns do not reach God because it is not aiming at God. That is important for me if I speak now without aiming at reaching out the truth in creation, which is the aspect of the creation, looks to the creator, manifests the qualities of the creator. If I am not aiming at it, but gaining something like honor between you here with with our friends, it is stupid, but trying to draw your attention to me and saying that, look, this man is saying something important. So I will feel proud. It means my aim is you, not God, not the truth. So when I say something, it is not captured by the angels, because angels look only the aspect of the things which is directed to God. So they will take it and represent it before God, saying that because they are always in contact with God, they receive the command of God, the will of God, and execute it, and they glorify God by executing the command while they are executing the command, will of God in the form of this physical world. So they are always in contact with the Creator. If I say something which in this world, which is aiming at reaching God only, the angels capture it and take it to God. This is a symbolic way of teaching that if I speak to, say something or do something only in order to reach God, but nothing else, that is called sincerity. If I do it sincerely, anything I do sincerely, angels take it like the tongue tastes the delicious food. Take it, captures it, and symbolically speaking, represents to God. Do you understand? I'm finding it difficult to express it, but this analogy of taste the fruit in the mouth analogy and my action and the relationship with the angels, and therefore sincere actions are taken and represented to God by angels, makes sense within the conditions of this physical world. Because God hears, of course, the Creator must hear everything. No, I'm speaking, or the text is speaking within the conditions of this physical world. How am I going to understand it? How am I going to make sense of it within the conditions of this world? I hope, I'm excited by the comment made by Mariam and Rayan. So I wanted to just don't join them, but I don't know whether I made any sense or not. If I wasted your time, please forgive me.
Beautiful comment, Brother Ali. Thank you for sharing that. It's interesting how everything that we're doing, our aim should be really reaching the target, and the target here is the absolute truth, or seeking, or reaching out, seeking the creator of the universe. And how does this whole communication happens? It's mysterious if we think about it, because we are communicating, it may seem, with the qualities manifested in the matter. So anything, any thought that occurs to me, the uttering it with the words, there's some sort of phenomenon that we call like airwaves, vibration, that someone else is able to listen in. And here we're talking about the source of our existence. How can I communicate with the source of my existence? It's really through creation around me, to the universe. And just I need to be conscious and concentrate more on what is it that I'm aiming at. And mostly our aims are, we all know what we're aiming at, but in between there's so many variables, or just like the author says, veils, or a lot of things that we encounter. So I think in the midst of all that, it may seem a little foggy, but I think when one is sincere in their endeavor, what is it that I'm doing, or what is really my end goal, then we can avoid any sort of slips, inshallah. And yeah, so while you were speaking, I was also thinking about how you were saying in terms of the angelic side of things, whatever, any interaction or action that is done with this consciousness in terms of communicating with the source of my existence, then it goes directly, or it reaches the source of my existence directly. And I think, but the catch here is that things have to be sincere, and that's how it's like how the tongue tastes delicious fruit. So, even the pleasure that one gets from any of it, that would pinpoint to that as well. So thank you for sharing that. And I see Mariam Ostermer, your hand is up. Go ahead, please.
So this thing sort of confused me a bit. So for a while, what I thought was our Creator heard us and saw us at every moment. And he had that ability because he was the creator of this universe. But right now, what I understood, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the angels see and hear everything that we do, and then send that to our Creator. So I was just confused about which one it was.
Good concern. So, you know how we conclude that the creator of the universe is absolute, or not of the nature of this universe? So, for example, so this universe is like a live painting. And so we conclude that, oh, this universe must have a painter or an artist. And we say that, oh, this artist is not of the nature of this universe, as in I cannot find it within the universe itself, or in the painting itself. So just like when we observe a beautiful painting, we interact with the art in it, the qualities manifested, but with all of that, we conclude that this painting must have a painter. So similarly, the universe must have a creator of the universe, which is not of the nature of this universe, so we refer to it as absolute. So from here, how does my communication happen with the source of existence? Because the source of existence is not within this creation, but we see signs, we see things are pointing to it. The qualities manifested are pointing to it. So, but I'm in communication with the artist through the creation around me. And so I think applying the notion of not of the nature of this universe, the creator is not of the nature of this universe, and yet here I am communicating with his art. So first of all, how do I conclude the absolute? Well, I conclude the absolute by interacting with its creation, by interacting with, let's say, a bird chirping. You know, I question its existence. I question, you know, does it know me? Why is it, you know, sitting on my bench or something? So with this interaction, and then I question, and then so I'm like, oh, okay, so this is a deliberate setup. The artist of the universe has presented me, this bird is conveying me something. The bird is saying, hey, you know, you enjoy my voice. I'm not singing on my own, but I'm created just like you are. I'm sent on behalf of the creator of you and I. And so I said, yeah, I'm enjoying this little song. And I was wondering, who is that? But it can't be you, it can't be me, because we're both, we're decaying, we'll both die in a couple of years. So like, really, who's presenting me all this marvelous setup? And so that's how the creator introduces to us through its art. And so how we communicate with this creator, the source of existence, really through these qualities manifested in creation, which we refer to as angelic side of creation. So the meaning it conveys to us, the meaning is like, hey, you know, I'm here on behalf of your creator. So, you know, so you get to enjoy me, but at the end of the day, you thank your creator, who's really the provider of everything. So that was really my take on this. Mariam, I see your hand up. Go ahead, please.
Thank you so much. That really answered part of my question, but there was another part. I don't know how to express it in words. So here, I'll type it in chat when I can put it into words.
Sure, no worries. At any time, if the question pops in again, feel free to raise your hand. So, did you want to say something?
No, I just want clarification on the question.
Okay.
But that's
okay, inshallah. So she'll put it up, or if it comes up. Anyone else wants to say something?
I do have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Yeah.
I was wondering what is wrong with reward in the hereafter, or having that notion of looking for, as he says, the rivalry is the desire for heavenly reward that is counted as a praiseworthy quality.
Where is this?
It's in the first paragraph.
First paragraph. Okay, I see it. So rivalry is a desire for heavenly reward. Okay, so you're wondering about that.
Yeah, what is that?
Interesting. So, you know, while I was reading this text, I'm glad you brought this up, because I was saying like, okay, I got that, you know, gist of it, like general understanding, but I'm like, well, what is the author mentioning here about reward? So I was really saying that what is this reward, quote unquote reward, that people of the truth are running after? So it seems that really the author is emphasizing on something about the reward. And so really that was my question about what is this reward that people of the truth are running after. And I'm just going to pause here. I'm just going to see what Mariam Ostermer is putting on the chat. Okay, so let's just look into the question. So let's just go step by step for the angels first, and then we can go.
Okay.
Do angels take the message of what we say and do every day to our creator, or does our creator hear and see what we do to himself, or both? Miriam, do you want to a little bit clarify your question, please?
Okay, so um so I did actually have a note on this. It said my two notes were the angel's function and your sincerity are combined in the qualities of its creator. If you say something that isn't sincere, the angels don't get it. If you do, the words go to the angels and they take it to our creator. So my question here is, does our creator see what all of us do every day and make a choice himself, like if that was right or wrong or stuff like that? Or do the angels watch what we're doing every day and take that message to our creator? So like, are the angels the messengers that just watch over this world, or does our creator look after us at every moment?
That's a very good question, Miriam. And let me see if there's anyone on the chat room who wants to tackle this. So Miriam's question is, do the angels look over us, or is it the creator of the universe that's looking over us? So how is this all happening when we say the creator is the all-hearing and all-seeing one? And Ali Murmur, go ahead, please.
Actually, Miriam asked the question and answered her own question by saying both. I said, yeah, it is both. What do you mean by both? Now, there are the two approaches, two understandings come from the same source, but which aspect of the matter we are talking about? For example, when I'm hungry, simple example, I eat food. Who is feeding me? Food or the creator of the food? Which one? Everybody knows that food is a dumb being, yeah. But they are created in order to feed me. They are the means in this world. But we have to be very careful and very calm here. Let's think about it in a very comfortable way. Does God, I can ask Miriam, who asked the question. I love all these young people ask very interesting questions and make very interesting comments. I appreciate them. I love them when they speak. Now, I will ask Miriam Özdemir, when I eat food, who is feeding me, food or God? The answer was, I asked this question, answer was God, the creator. Okay, I agree. Well, I have no objection. But I turn the question back to you now, like this. Does God need the food to feed me? Miriam, what's your answer?
No.
Why the food is created then? He doesn't need it.
He didn't need it, but we did.
Sorry?
He didn't need it, but we did.
Ah, excellent. Now, in order to understand that, I am fed by whom? That's my question. Who is feeding me? Of course, I am living in this physical world, in this world, and when I'm hungry, I go and eat food. By eating food, my human intellect asks the question, can the food know my body? Can the food really act within my body in a useful way, providing the nutrition, nourishment for my body? What is it all about? Food is coming from the soil and also water and air. Do they have consciousness? Nothing, knowledge, power, will? No, no. After eating the food, I understand that they cannot act by themselves. Look, that is how we are created in this world. They cannot act by self. So who is doing it? So I start studying how the earth is functioning, air is functioning, sunlight is functioning, water is functioning. I understand that they are functioning in a perfect way, but they have no quality to be the source of existence of these actions that they are performing. It means they are employed. Like a very simple one, very simple example, like the blocks or the bricks of the building. Of course, I see the building made up of bricks, but I know that bricks don't have any free will, any knowledge. They don't think how to make a house or anything. I say the way the bricks are laid on the wall demonstrates that a conscious builder has employed them there, and this builder was the real actor, agent behind the building of the house. So first, I don't see the builder, but I see the wall, I see the bricks, I experience it. So what we do now, we experience the created world and how they are functioning and conclude that it has a creator. So angels are the meanings that I extract from the way that bricks in the house is put. I say, these bricks are here consciously laid down on top of each other, but they don't have consciousness. It means food is employed by the creator to feed me, but everything is from the creator. Food himself is just a means of experiencing the quality of the creator for me. So if you remember, Miriam, I said within the conditions of this world, how we see that our sincere actions reach to God, angels take them. Angels are like food. They represent the quality of their creator. For me, I have to eat the food in order to understand that the creator of the food is feeding me, nourishing me. But I have to eat the food. Through the food, I have to reach the creator. And afterwards, I conclude that the creator is feeding me. So we have to start, Mariam, we have to start from our experience in this world. How do we experience it? What we conclude out of this experience, that the universe has a creator and everything is created by him. We don't say God is creating everything. Why don't we say this? Because we start from everything needs to be created, and the creator of everything is called God. Then conclude. After this stage of reasoning, we conclude God is the creator of everything. So when I see that how the tongue tastes the fruit, is it the tongue tasting it? No, it is a flesh. It is just a piece of flesh. So it can't. but it is made in such a way that it is given the ability to taste. So I understand that the one who created the tongue is the one who creates the taste. Exactly the same thing. The meaning, I see that the matter doesn't have a meaning from itself, cannot have it. Matter has no mind, no power to think, to learn. No. So from there, I understand that matter has another aspect, like my tongue has another quality, which needs to be created. So matter has another aspect, which is the meaning, which needs to be created. So this is called in the Quran angels, angelic side of the creation. What are they? Angelic side of the creation is in the universe, angels, in my tongue, to the ability to taste, in the building example, the way the bricks are laid. These are the angelic side of the creation. At the end, I conclude and then say, yes, definitely, there must be a creator who nourishes me, who made this building of the universe, and who really hears what I say. But that is only my conclusion. Do you hear me now? There is a problem.
We hear you, yes.
Okay, that is only conclusion, which is the right conclusion. I can confirm it. My mind said, yes, it must be so. There must be a one who hears, who enables the tongue to taste, and who has built the universe in the way it is. But how do I reach to this question is the main problem that we are dealing here. To see the witnesses in the creation. So from the witness side, my tongue, or let me use the simple example, the food is feeding me. But my intellect says, no, food cannot feed you, but still I eat food in order to experience it. That's my reality, how I am created. If you think, look, the spirit, human spirit, uses human body, physical body. Only through the eye that power of sight can see, spirit see. Only through the ears that human spirit hears. But it doesn't mean that eye or ear are hearing. No, human spirit. Human spirit is functioning through body. So all the meanings, all the belief, the conclusions, we call it iman, are realized through the physical experience of this world. I hope it clarifies the problem. Which aspect we are looking from the going to the conclusion, reaching the conclusion aspect. Yes, angels take the sincere prayers, sincere speech of the people to God. From God's perspective, after we concluded, of course, God hears. God doesn't need food to feed me. God doesn't need angels to hear me. But aspect, it is a matter of aspect. Which aspect we are talking? We usually talk from our perspective here, in physical perspective here, and come to the conclusion that the source of everything, every quality, hearing, nourishing, building, seeing, everything are coming from the creator of the universe, And this creator is called God, and it is only him that who functions in this world. But this is my conclusion. As if after solving the problem and coming to the conclusion saying that the X is equal to God, who is the creator of everything. And I say, oh, everything is created by him. But this is conclusion. That's called Iman. But in order to reach this conclusion, we have to go through our experience of the physical world and see what is going on there, analyze it, and come to the conclusion. I think it helped a little bit at least. Thank you.
Mashallah, this was exciting actually. Um, Understanding this notion of angels that we hear about. It's really actually very exciting in terms of how we even interact with things, how we even reflect on things, how often are we conscious of this notion, as in really what is it that I'm interacting with at the end of the day. So yeah, inshallah, let's all learn to live with angels, inshallah, as a start, I guess. So all right, I'm glad to hear that as well, Mariam, that it helped a lot. And yes, we will be looking forward to your notes on this. Just checking in to see if there's anyone who has anything around this notion of what we spoke about, angels, any excitement, question. Just feel free to say that before we shift the subject. All right, so all right, so let's get started with this third cause in terms of how can I be sincere in my endeavors, and just going back to the query and what Asim and I were wondering about, what is this whole point about reward that the author is mentioning? So really, what is this reward that the people of truth are running after? I was thinking about that when we were reading this. And so, I mean, that's my general question. And I think most of us may have that question as well. So I don't know, I was trying to connect this with how we redefine reward in yesterday's discussion as well. And so, I'm just going to go through a little bit how I was taking this in. So, if I say that if reward is an understanding of the truth for myself, so when I learn something and I understand it, obviously it imparts a sense of contentment in me. And so I can apply this understanding and meaning to all aspects of my existence in terms of connecting it to different dimensions of this existence that we find ourselves in. So if reward is such, it's my understanding of the truth for myself, or how can I be in the presence of my creator in my interactions. So if I'm understanding reward as such, so I was also wondering, so what error may I fall into? And then I was, as Ryan and Miriam were reading the text, also I said, okay, so some possible errors I may fall into is really perhaps while, even sharing an understanding or owning the understanding, or in other words, worshiping me, as in I'm bringing you the news of the unseen, rather than I'm just implied to convey, or this understanding has been imparted onto me, so it doesn't belong to me. So that was one possibility. I think that is the main one that I can fall into. And so another one was, how, so if again, this is really, if we are understanding reward as me understanding the truth about the source of my existence, or even the reality, what does my existence point to? So in that way, I think, where can we slip? So that was one way we can slip, having a sense of ownership over things. And another one was, when how the author mentions, in this path of, reaching the end goal or reaching my aim, there are several interactions going on. And even within that, so how the author gave the example of, how many, let's say, followers do I have? Like if we see that, like, on these social media. Yes, thank you. Like how many followers does this person have? How many likes does he or she have on his video? So I think there's also this slippery area that the author is warning us about, when he mentions that, being concerned about, hey, why aren't people listening to me? How come they are going to him? How come his channel has more subscribers than me? So I think that these are like some of the slippery areas that become dangerous for us. And so if that is so, then I was saying, so what are some principles that I can follow while I'm having any kind of interaction with anyone? So I think we went over this also in the previous causes and the sessions we had, that, I shouldn't be forceful towards anything. I'm just conveying and that's it. And I shouldn't feel disappointed. And everything that happens, any kind of feeling that I may experience, disappointment or anything, it's just a reminder for me that I'm just a created being, in terms of I'm just a mirror that's made to reflect the qualities. And so with this, I'm going to just pose the question to everybody up there. Well, really, what is this reward that the author is referring to? The reward that the people of truth are running after. And let me just also highlight the point that Asim brought up earlier, that the desire, so the sentence, that which impels the people of guidance to the misuse of their high aspiration, and hence to disagreement and rivalry. So what happens when people of guidance get into some kind of discordance, disagreement, is really the desire for heavenly reward that is counted as a praiseworthy quality in respect of the hereafter. So here's a question. Yeah, what is this heavenly reward that the author is referring to? Go ahead, Ali Murmur.
If anybody else wants to say anything, please interrupt me, because I just spoke earlier on as well. Now, it is the school example is very important. When I learn something in the school, it is for my benefit, not for the benefit of the teacher. Teacher will be happy, of course, if I learn it, but the real purpose of the teaching is to teach me to become aware of something that I didn't know before. But if the student wants to learn and make the teacher also happy, which is the case in this world, we understand in our practical life that the teacher is happy when the students really benefit from him, but ultimately it is for me. So the purpose of the creation of this world and the creation of human beings in this world is
Sorry, your voice was a little bit breaking up.
What shall I do? Now,
Uh,
is it a
it's
continuous like this, breaking up?
That was just recent. Now it's perfectly fine, and I'll let you know where the last thing we heard from you was. So if the student wants to learn and also make the teacher happy, but ultimately whatever the student is doing for their own benefit. So go ahead now, please. Thank you.
Ultimately, yeah. So, the purpose of this universe, the creation of this universe is, and also as far as I'm concerned, the purpose of the creation of me in this universe, I understand that I am given the facilities to get to know something that I didn't know, but I can learn it. So all the things are provided for me here in order to learn something from them. So when I learn something, of course, I should bear in mind that ultimately I am fulfilling the purpose of my existence in this world. But fulfilling the purpose of my existence looks to the Creator, because it is He created me with a purpose. He employed me to do this. But when I learn it, when I fulfill the purpose of my existence, ultimately it is me who is rewarded. It means I gained it. I gained. It is I gained. But because I have chosen through my free will the option which is the purpose of existence or purpose of my creation, which is set by the Creator will say, yeah, that is why I created you and you fulfilled it. Of course, from my perspective, again, we should not misunderstand. From my perspective, I made the Creator happy. It doesn't mean that I'm not entertaining the Creator, but I have decided to choose the right option, which is the purpose of my existence. That is why my Creator has created me. So we should understand that the reward is ultimately related to me. But practically speaking, we say we have to seek God's pleasure. What does it mean? It means we have to make a right decision to fulfill the purpose in our existence, put in our existence by my Creator. When I fulfilled it, that is the result that I consider, my Creator is happy now because I fulfilled my mission here. But this mission is given to me by my Creator. But Creator is not gaining anything. I am gaining something. This gain is called in this text reward. Reward is included in the way that I act. If I act rightly, it means if I learn, if I fulfill the purpose of my existence, I gain the reward. If I don't, I lose the reward. I don't learn anything. I don't make any progress in my human sight. So I will be loser because I didn't fulfill the purpose of my existence. So we have to understand this reward. Only the believers think of the reward of God because they understand that they are created for a purpose by a conscious being. Unbelievers have no sense of reward by definition because they don't believe in God. That is what unbelief is all about. So for the believers, they say, in order to gain the reward, I have to do good actions. Now, the trick is here. That takes us back to Asim's question, which is the core teaching of the third course, according to my understanding. Of course, that's my understanding. This is the core teaching. What is that? Those believers aim at gaining the pleasure of God. It means the reward. But this is the pleasure of God. Now, how do I gain it? They think that if I do some right actions, good actions, for example, conveying the message of God to people, I will gain the reward. But we have to be careful. This universe is created in such a way. Now I will a little bit digress the subject so that we will understand better. This universe is created in such a way that in the creation, there is an order. In the order, always certain things are followed by certain things. This order never changes. For example, if there was no order, the plants don't grow. So, growth of the plants preceded by water. But if we examine the water, if there was no water, the plants will not grow. That is correct. That's the order. But we say, oh, is the water the creator of the plant? I look at the plant, it has so much qualities in it. And I look at this water, it doesn't have any kind of qualities in its existence at all, in its being at all. I conclude that water is not the creator of the plant. Water is just a means. The creator is the one who creates the order of the universe in this way. That's what we have to understand. So I take this reality that we are experiencing in the world and apply it to this, our subject is sincerity. Because I am teaching the Quran, it doesn't mean that I am the source of existence of guidance. Because I am teaching the Quran, so God will reward me. No. If I am teaching the Quran and expecting the result to be created by God, being conscious of it, so that is sincerity. It means I am doing something like water is doing, but as a conscious being, I am aware that it is not me who is guiding the people. This seems to be for a materialist person who doesn't believe in God. It's an inconsistent logic. It sounds as if it is inconsistent logic. Why? Water, without water, there's no plant for the unbeliever. So water is the cause of the plant. But for the believer, yes, if there was no water, plant will not grow, but it is not water that growing the plant, but it is the creator of this order of the universe who is growing the plant. I have to have this consciousness, which is called God consciousness, sincerity. When I teach the Quran, it is not me who is guiding the listeners. Because like a water, I am like water. So guidance is from God. So why should I bother about How many people are going to listen to me? It doesn't mean that 100 people listen to me, so I guided 100 people. No, no. Guidance is from God. You are doing what you are doing. If you are doing in order to fulfill the purpose of your existence, that is the purpose. That is the reason that you will get reward. Purpose of your existence is not to guide people. Purpose of your existence is to do something in order to get the reward, pleasure of your creator by fulfilling the function of your creation. I think it is a very important point, but I don't know whether I could really clarify the case, because we may not get used to thinking in this way. For example, 100 people listen to me and I conveyed the truth to them. Okay? Why? In order to guide them. Oh, you are not the guide. The result is created by the creator. It means you are not sincere. You are inconsistent. You are not really fulfilling the purpose of your existence. Therefore, you are not gaining anything. You are just replacing God's guidance with your guidance. It is the most dangerous thing. So we shouldn't really pay attention much to the result, to the quantity, the number, how much I did something and I was conveyed the message to how many people. These should not be our concern. Our concern is to fulfill the function of my creation in the best way without distorting it, in the best way. But result, be careful, result is not going to be created by you. Result is not your concern. Your concern or my concern will be only whether I am doing it with the consciousness that the result is going to be created by God. What I am doing is only to fulfill the purpose of my existence. This is fulfilling the purpose of my existence is my sincerity. If I am concerned with the result, it means I am not really aware that this result is going to be created by God. It means as if water is claiming that I'll come down and grow the plant. Oh, we say, you are subject to the order. Come on, you cannot do anything by yourself. You need to be created. You are just being silly with this claim. Of course, water doesn't claim this, but people who think that causes creates the effects think that water is growing the plant. That is the mistake lies there. But our subject is those people who believe in God. What am I going to do here? Okay, I have to fulfill the purpose of my existence so that my creator will be pleased. I will never think that I am the one who creates the result. No, 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 I cannot create anything. I just obey the order. I just obey the purpose in my existence. Now, this long explanation, I think I myself became, yeah, there is something different here. I have to pay attention. To my understanding, this is the core teaching of the third cause. And that's what I got it. Thank you very much.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Ali. This was amazing, actually. Really a redefining reward for ourselves with new dimensions. It's all, first of all, it's all about my benefit in terms of fulfilling the purpose of my existence. And really, I was thinking, so sincerity lies in me uh, fulfilling the purpose of my existence the way I ought to, or the way my free will ought to be utilized. It's not that I'm doing something extraordinary, but I'm just making the decision, as in, there's a right and a left side, right? RIGHT and left. So I'm just making the right decision, and that's it. I am not creating anything. I'm not the source of existence of any guidance. I'm just letting something flow through me or conveying something. And yep, I think there's a lot to be mindful of in terms of really, so what is this reward? Is really to fulfill the purpose of my creation in the best way. You just beautifully pointed out. Thank you so much for sharing that. Does anyone have anything to add here? Any questions, comment? I know we have 4 more minutes, so if not, then we can listen up to Miriam for her notes. And also Miriam wrote down heavenly reward is a connection with your creator. Yeah, you got that actually. So to sum everything up, a connection with your creator as in the right way, I would say, where I'm just not doing anything. I'm just following the order in the universe, just like the water example that Brother Ali pinpointed. All right, so with this, Mariam, if you are ready, inshallah, let's listen to your notes. Mariam Ostermer.
Okay. I had a lot of notes this time, so.
All right, let's buckle up.
Okay, my first note for the third cause was the angel's function and your sincerity are combined in the qualities of its creator. If you say something that isn't sincere, the angels don't get it. If you do, your words go to the angels and they take it to our creator. Our creator makes everything for us. He doesn't need food, but he creates it because we need it. If you see a house made of bricks and you know a conscious builder built the house because the bricks have no free will. If you know something is made by someone even though you didn't see them. Food is just a means of remembering the qualities of our creator. Angels are like food. God is the creator of everything. The tongue cannot taste anything, but it is given the ability to taste. Whoever created the tongue created the taste. There must be a creator who nurtures me, who made this building of the universe, and who hears me. Our creator hears and sees all. Angels tell our creator only the sincere parts. The order of this universe never changes. Water doesn't make plants. Food isn't what makes us grow. There is no one creator who is there is one creator who is responsible for every action in this universe. If you read the Quran knowing that God will create the result, that is sincerity. Doing something to fulfill the purpose of your existence is sincerity. If you want to guide people, if you think that you are the guide itself, you are not being sincere. You are replacing God's position. He is the one who makes the result, so he is the guide. heavenly reward is a connection with your Creator. And that was my last note.
MashaAllah, beautiful takeaways. It's really a lot to reflect on. Thank you so much for sharing these beautiful gems with all of us here. And on that note, let me just check to see if there is, and you have applauses, obviously, from a lot of people who appreciate the notes, alhamdulillah. I think everybody does, but it's hard to see the applauses virtually, but you got the meaning of it. Anyone else who has anything to add, share, feel free to raise your hand. Any major takeaways, anything? Let's give it 5 seconds. All right, so I think we can stop here for today. Alhamdulillah, I feel that we covered the third cause. So if anything, just bring it up next time. But I feel that we can move on with the fourth cause next Sunday. So whoever is moderating, inshallah, we're doing the fourth cause. And that's about it. Again, Jazakallah khair, everyone, for joining us in. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all the beautiful comments and questions, participation, reading. It was a very lovely Sunday afternoon, alhamdulillah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Glory be unto you. We have no knowledge save except that which you've taught us. Indeed, you're all knowledgeable, all wise. وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سر سورة الفاتحة آمين.